Hi all, my name is Saurabh Sethi and I'm here to introduce Cryptoflow. Cryptocurrency crime in India has exploded. Phishing scams, ransomware scams, pump and dump schemes, call you what. Criminals think that transferring money through blockchain anonymity makes them, completely untouchable, but they are completely wrong. As we introduce and make Cryptoflow, this is our first cryptocurrency forensics platform, which is built specifically for Indian law enforcement. There are many global tools which can trace and funds to an exchange deposit, but they stop there. And we are going the extra final mile. We are connecting crypto wallets to real Indian identities, either through bank accounts or through UPI IDs and P2P trading platforms. Um, let's dive in and see what this is all about. Right. As you come in, this you will see the dashboard. This is almost like a command center. We have about 13,000 entities right now, and these are just not exchange wallet, but these are a combination of ransom groups, scam operations, sanctioned addresses. We have pulled intelligence from GraphSense global database, from Etherscan labels, from drone scan tags, from Binance, from various P2P exchanges, as well as from social media, including Telegram and so on and so forth. You can notice that we prioritize a very specific drawn blockchain right now, because that's not arbitrary. Our information shows that 70% of all Indian crypto fraud is happening on Tron because of low fees and fast settlement, and hence our key focus has been here. Um, Below this, you will see recently viewed panel, which basically shows you everything that you have done recently, and you can track that. Below that, we have a complete case management system with the first information reports and so on and so forth. So if there are cases that Indian law enforcement agencies are operating, then they can do a case management directly from here as well. Underneath that, we will be able to show you a few of the demo scenarios with few of the global blockchain settlements, as well as Indian wallets, including Xerex, Coinbase, TCX, and so on and so forth. Right. Let's start with a very basic thing. Let me show you what we have in entities, where we have about 13,000 entities from GraphScene, from ecos across India. We'll pick at random one of the most critical entities. So you can target this by sources, which is GraphSense, ecos, or manual that has been inputted by you. You can search for any kind of a name or a tag. You can search for any kind of any kind of a category, like exchanges, scams, mixtures, court cases, or sanctions. And then you can also search by risk level. This risk level is something that we provide in risk rules, in which basically tell you if a particular transaction or if a particular entity is critical, high, medium, or low. Let's start with one of the critical ones, and we'll just take at random something. As soon as you click on an entity, it goes into something called as our workbench, where you can visualize it. You click on an entity, and we open a small node detail about the entity. This entity by itself has a very low score right now. It's an ETH chain, and we are able to see the address that it has. We expand it, and we will see most recent transactions which have been done on it, which is pretty interesting. We are able to see that, oh, it is connected to a Coinbase wallet. We are able to see that it has had some money in and some money out to some of the other wallets. Oh, there is a wallet which says unknown, and there's a risk score that's quite high. So let's go on and explore that. Oh, that wallet itself has been linked to another Coinbase instance as well as Kraken. This is starting to become interesting in terms of how this is going. You can now go on and keep on expanding this particular scenario, and this would actually pull the change in real time in terms of what's happening. As you see, this graph will slowly become quite complex and may not be very easy to read. Then what you can do is you can basically try to see that you want to have a money flow graph and arrange it in a money flow way, where now you are able to see that the three entities that we clicked, and then how the money is flowing between them and how the money is flowing from other entities towards them. You can see from a grid view point of view as well in terms of how various entities are arranged, or you can see from a circle view in terms of what is the interdependence. Various types of scenarios get used in multiple ways. I personally like a grid based scenario, but one of the things it is missing is also a timeline view, right? When did the money flow, and when did all this money flow from one entity to another? Since we have that information, one of the very coolest things that you can do is essentially you can do a playback of timeline and funds. So now we have about 15 transactions that we are seeing right now, and as soon as we start a timeline, you will see that how transaction flow is starting to gather in terms of where the money is going and from what, and that gives you a very clear indication in terms of what is happening. This whole process is real time, is available as you go on and do transaction evaluation on multiple entities, and keeps on expanding. As you see, we just expanded this, and now we have added 5 more transactions to our database, and it will easily run through them in terms of the flow. So that is something that's pretty interesting. Once you have done the investigation, you can save the whole investigation either at its current state itself, or you can even export it as a PNG or a CSV, as an image. If there are issues in terms of thinking, in terms of hang on a second, do we really know what's happening here, and can we get some AI guidance? Then we can basically click on AI assistance, which essentially takes all these transactions and analyzes them very quickly, and is able to give you an answer. Right here, for the specific thing that I touched, it says that the target has sent funds to multiple addresses, some of which are linked to high risk entities, including Coinbase and Tornado. Funds have been observed traveling through various addresses, including a mixture of low and high risk tiers, indicating potential layering or obfuscation transaction. So very detailed answers you get in terms of from the AI as well. You can then save the states. Since we didn't start any active case, we can start a case with a snapshot at this time period, and then we can save it, and then you can tomorrow resume it from the same place. Now let me show you another interesting thing about our P2P intelligence. I showed you entities. Apart from entities, we are able to scrape through most of the P2P trades that are happening using Indian money on Binance, as well as on Telegram. Uh, as we go here, we can say what kind of a source we want. Say, for example, you want Telegram as a source. We can see on Telegram on which particular channel, what are the UPI IDs and their wallet addresses, who are either requesting money or sending money, and so on and so forth. Let's take one of them and try to see. Oh, this is called Small Shark at Paytm. Let's expand this and see. Wow, amazing. So now from UPI ID itself, we are able to understand how this UPI ID is doing some transactions with various wallets and with various addresses, and then we can go on and expand on them in the same manner. Once we do this, and once we're happy with it, we can see how the money flow is happening. This wallet is essentially getting money from 2 or 3 places, and then sending some money off, approximately, very interestingly, a similar amount of 8.85 to 3 separate chains. So worth investigating and worth understanding in terms of what is happening. You can again look at the timeline and see the flow of funds in terms of how they have happened. So all the funds came through this, then went through all of them. So that is something that is very interesting. Going to data sources, as I've already mentioned, that we have multiple of them. Currently, we are able to track in Binance about 8,000 ads, out of which few of them are traders. What kind of buy volume and sell volume, what kind of assets and by their asset volumes. We are able to track a lot of channels in Telegram, where we are able to get UPI IDs and wallet IDs from there. We are able to track a lot of entities, as I've already said, and from there we are able to understand what are the major sources of fraud which are happening, and hence we are able to do some wallet enrichment. These are again some of the recent additions that we have made. The additions keep on happening every day, and they keep on repeating. I'll take you to rule engines. We have our own internal rule engine, which is very robust, but it is also open to modifications if required. Though it has an AI backend and it keeps on learning by itself as well. As I said, we have a very interesting case module, so you can assign cases to various team members, and you can have cases open, and then you can run these cases as well. Yeah, that's really about it. Thank you so much.